Member of Parliament for Kwapim South, Amoah, has criticized Speaker of Parliament Bagbin for his handling of legislative matters. The Minister of State at the Ministry of Local Government, Decentralization and Rural Development described the Speaker's response to the letter from the Presidency to the Legislature, asking the House to cease from transmitting the Anti-LGBTQ Bill as unfortunate. The following report delves into the matter.
President Nana Akufo-Addo at the New Year greetings event with members of the diplomatic corps at PDRC recently indicated his decision to await the Supreme Court's ruling on suit against the Anti-LGBTQ Bill before making a decision on the controversial legislation passed by Parliament. In response, the presidency, through a statement signed by Nana Asante Bediatu, the secretary to the president, requested Parliament to cease and desist from transmitting the bill to the president for assent. This move appears to have stirred discontent with the Speaker of Parliament, Bagbin, who subsequently announced the House's decision to halt the approval of the president's ministerial nominees. Speaking on Citi TV's current affairs program, The Big Issue, Member of Parliament for Kwapim South, Amoah, expressed misgivings about the Speaker's actions.
The Speaker, as Speaker of Parliament, did not speak for the majority of us. It's a fact, in the sense that if you read his statement very well, the first 10 paragraphs or so were directly attacks on the president for no reason at all for some of us. It's unfortunate, but if you read the letter from Nana Bediatu Asante, you may decide not to agree with him. It's your right. He's saying that we have been served. We are told that the applications for injunction against transmitting the bill and then also giving assent to the bill, we want to wait for the court to take a decision. You may disagree with him. You may say that, why don't you sign while the court goes on? He says that I'm law-abiding. I'm going by the constitutional dictates. I think that we should wait for the Supreme Court to deal with this matter. Does that warrant such words like trying to undermine our constitution, undermine democracy, and all those things? I think it's very unfortunate.
However, a former Deputy Attorney General and MP for Bolga East, Dr. Dominic Anyene, emphasized that the president has shown strong indications of refusing assent to the anti-gay bill.
If I were the Attorney General of the Republic, okay, I would have advised the president to merely write back to Mr. Speaker saying that, all right, on account of the pendency of these suits, okay, I am unable to assent the bill. That would have been a reason enough to comply with the constitutional requirement, to state the reasons for not assenting to a bill. So if this had been done, it would then have been left with Parliament, okay, to marshal a two-thirds majority to override the president's attempted veto, and then, say that, Mr. President, you must sign the bill. But what has happened is that, look, from all indications, this president is not ready. He's not ready. He's never been ready, to sign, assent to this bill.
Meanwhile, panelists have also been discussing Vice President Dr. Mohammed Bawumia's proposal to grant tax amnesty to businesses. Deputy Youth Organizer of the NDC, Osman Ayaroga, suggested that the promise is merely for campaign purposes.
There's been COVID-19 levy. There's been e-levy. There's been the 5% financial cleanup, there's been the energy sector, there's been sanitation pollution levy, there's been growth and sustainable levy, and there's been the so unpopular tax that today the vice president is hoping to step back or turn around and try to change it, and which I was here the last time fighting vigorously. That is the 10% on the betting tax. All these are nuisance taxes. Yet, the vice president keeps promising and keeps promising. At this material moment, excuse my language, but the vice president has no credibility left to be making any further promises to the good people of this country.
But technical advisor to the vice president, Dr. Tia Kabiru Mahama, insisted that the vice president has been demonstrating empathy towards the business community.
It was a harsh. It was a recurring, I mean, the re-echo of their own frustrations. The vice president was actually highlighting in that particular program. So we should not limit the discussion to the fact that the vice president didn't use a good body language or whatever. The vice president was actually speaking to what they feel. And in fact, as a business person, and that is just a better description of how they feel. And the vice president, as a presidential candidate, will have to put himself into there. So if he was a business person, he has to talk like they are talking. So he's not going to behave because he's in the executive, he doesn't feel what the people of Ghana feel.